When I look back, I think I made a lot of progress, but now I'm still at a point where I feel a little bit like a roadblock.
And first you said even the roadblock is you don't know how to market, but then you said, well, actually there is a resistance, something of holding back. Hi everyone, I'm here today with Max again, and I'm very happy and excited to have him again, and can't wait what he will tell me what has happened since our last coaching session. And everyone who is watching this video, I hope you can get also a lot out of it. And now, Max, thank you for being here. My time is all yours now. How are you?
Thank you so much, Monica. Yeah, I'm really good. I'm excited to talk to you today. And yeah, now when I look back, I think I made a lot of progress. But now I'm still at a point where I feel a little bit like a roadblock. That's why I'm so excited to talk to you today. So I've created the website, and also I presented it during this coaching call, which I'm attending, and so the feedback was really great, and yeah, that got me really excited. So I realized I came so far since we started working together, where I didn't even really know where to start, to now having a website, a program. And also we talked a bit about the social media part last time. And I mean, I'm constantly evolving, doing things, also creating my podcast now, which is really exciting, and I really like to do that as well. So for me, it's also learning, where I feel really comfortable in creating content, and this is definitely something I like a lot. And otherwise, now I realize I feel a bit of a roadblock now in terms of how to market the program. And I feel like a little bit of resistance because, now I have everything sort of ready to send it and promote it and share it with the world. And now I feel a little bit like holding it back, like holding it to myself. And I mean, obviously that's a shame because I know it's really exciting what I've created, but at the same time, I'm not really, taking the next step right now.
Yeah, so first of all, congratulations on your progress. I mean, that's amazing. You have a website, you presented it with the marketing group and business coach, and even a podcast. And so you went out, you did already, you got comfortable with creating, and that, oh my God, you reached a milestone with that. Getting comfortable with what you were avoiding, that's amazing. And what I hear you say is now there is another roadblock on the way. And that is, when I understand it right, the resistance of getting out there even more, or the resistance of how to market it now.
Yes.
And first you said even the roadblock is you don't know how to market, but then you said, well, actually there is a resistance, something of holding back. And so do you know how to market and don't do it?
So, I mean, I did attend a marketing program, like I think last year, which I still have access to, which gives you a lot of step-by-step tools. So I never really did this part. So I started also the program and went so far, but I never really went into the whole how to then attract clients towards your website and your offer. So it was more about the beginnings. Basically, I've learned a lot, but then I also stopped at a certain point. And so I think I know to a certain degree what I can do. I have some resources where I can also look into how to do it maybe in a more professional way. but I haven't really used that resource so far. So I think it's a bit of both. So I don't really know, but I'm also hesitant even to look it up.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, it makes totally sense. I mean, we all do that. When there is underlying limitations and blocks. And what would be the greatest outcome from today's session for you, Max?
So I think if this roadblock would be out of the way, so I can, like we had in the last session, so I could move forward now and also to promote the program and to really take action in doing so and not holding back, not stopping, just doing it, you know. As we know, things can always improve and evolve, and also the website and the whole program will evolve probably over time, but the greatest outcome would be really if I would get going in focusing on promoting my program now.
Okay, yeah. So you want to have, of course, the roadblock, not a block anymore, out of the way and ready to go, taking action and progressing, focusing on what you have to do. And you mentioned it already, but let's go there again with your permission. What is it that holds you back?
Yeah, I think it's like in my mind, it's like a fear of success. It's, I don't know, that's just what comes up. It feels like, because, you know, I'm really close to make it actually work, and then it would prove that it's successful. But I think I'm also a bit afraid of the success and at the same time of the possible failure.
Yeah, so there is a fear of success and a fear of failure. You're very close, so you know now the next step might mean the breakthrough, might mean that you are visible, might mean, yes, there it is. And that's where the last bit of this fear comes in. And to go there again a little bit to our last session, remember we did a future visualization. You spoke with your future self, and there was a little bit this topic also, like, what do I have to focus on? What do I have to do? And I have here my notes, that's why I'm looking down. The topic of being visible. And do you remember what your future self said to you?
I mean, I know it said definitely like just do things. So don't focus so much on what exactly, because you don't need to know the how so specifically, but just continue in doing things. That's what I definitely remember right now.
Exactly. Just do it. And then what I have also in my note, it said, don't hide. There is no reason to hide. Just allow it.
Yes.
And of course, we know it, but just let's go there already. So what do you think is it that the part in you that wants you to hide, to not be visible?
I think it's this probably version of me that feels like little and feels like it shouldn't take up so much space and room. And yeah, if it really feels like a confined version of me that feels unsafe in this bigger version of me.
Yeah, that makes totally sense. And like it feels unsafe. So there is obviously a part of you that thinks there is a benefit in not being successful and in not being seen. And would you like to explore that part a little bit and see what's its role, function, purpose, and intention?
Yeah, definitely. I would like that.
And then let's see what happens. I know that you were already in the last sessions very willing to go deep, and I just want to remind you again, this is a safe space. And I know we are recording, but you know that only with your permission this will be public, and if you don't feel comfortable, that's totally fine. The number one reason why we do this is to solve the block and not to have a video. But if there is a video, even better. But why I'm saying this is to just don't put on any brakes. You can really be and let go. This is a safe space, and it doesn't have to be public.
Okay, thank you.
Whenever you feel comfortable, I would just start by taking a deep inhalation and exhale, just letting it all go. And another deep inhale. And exhale one more time, and feel already how your body gets more and more relaxed and soft and loose. And one more time, inhale deeply. And as you exhale, you can close your eyes. And this feels right for you. And just continue with a relaxed breathing, but there is no need to manipulate it in any way. Just let your breath go in and out in your own unique rhythm and pace. Just observe the breath, how it enters your body. And with every exhale, observe how your body gets more and more relaxed, heavy, soft. And by focusing on your breath, you focus more and more in an awareness of your internal being, of your internal self, of your internal state. And you can also focus on your heartbeat, which is there always, beating in this perfect rhythm for you, no matter what. And you notice more and more how much you go into a beautiful, relaxed state. And I don't know how deep you are going today, but I know that it will be just right for you. And when you are there feeling so relaxed, so comfortable, and so safe, I want you now that you imagine that you can go inside of you and you are looking for the part that came up with this fear of success and this fear of failure. And it's the easiest thing. You don't have to do anything special. Just going inside, you're still listening to my voice. And you have found this part now, this part that came up with this fear of success, this fear of failure, because it thought it might have a very important role, function, a purpose, and an intention for you. And we can now talk with this part directly because you will give it a voice. And you repeat after me, giving this part a voice. I'm the part of Max.
I'm the part of Max
that came up with this fear of success.
That came up with this fear of success.
And my only role in Max's life is to.
And my only role in Max's life is to protect him.
And I need to protect him from.
And I need to protect him from, I think, like people who would like talk bad about what I'm doing and like being criticizing and telling me it's like not good enough, or who am I to do this?
And what if you wouldn't protect Max? What would happen if you wouldn't?
Yeah, he could get hurt.
He could get hurt. Beautiful job. Now let's do this a couple of more times. Please repeat after me. I'm the part of Max
I'm the part of Max
that came up with this fear of success.
that came up with this fear of success.
And my only function in his life is to.
And my only function in his life is to keep him safe.
And the need to keep him safe because.
And I need to keep him safe because, yeah, people might like attack what he's doing and say it's his person and what he's doing. He might be in the focus of people who are not positive towards him.
And what would happen then with him?
Yeah, then he would feel sad, lonely, questioning himself, if he's good enough.
Okay, yeah. Great, let's do it 2 more times. Repeat after me. I'm the part of Max
I'm the part of Max
that keeps him from being successful.
That keeps him from being successful.
And my only purpose in his life is to.
And my only purpose in his life is to keep him where he is.
And I need to do this because.
And I need to do this because this is where he is safe.
So that he is safe. What I understood, you're doing an amazing job. So you are the part, and the part says the intention is that he plays small, because when he plays small, finish that sentence.
When he plays small, then he is safe, and he doesn't get attacked.
Beautiful, beautiful. So this part, this part of Max, I'm talking to you. You came to Max to protect him from critical people, to keep him safe, that he doesn't get attacked, to keep him where he is so that he is safe, that people do not attack him, so that he doesn't feel sad, lonely, he's not questioning himself, and he would not feel not good enough. And also you're here that he plays small, so that he, again, is safe and cannot be attacked. And now I want you to tell me what was going on in Max's life when you had to come into his life to keep him safe.
Yeah, so I was in school, I think maybe in the 3rd or 4th grade. So I was maybe 8 or 9 or something. And then like my teacher, she was really strict, and she was really she didn't like the boys, and she only had a few people she preferred, and she was then positive. And I don't know, I think one time I said something and she was very harsh and very critical about what I wanted to say or what I was saying. And then I don't know, I just wanted to never ever speak up again. I just felt so embarrassed and small.
Yeah, and right now, Max, I really want you to go into this scene and really see this 8-9-year-old version of you. And he's there at school with this teacher who has some kids she prefers and the others she doesn't like, and she was in general didn't like so much boys. And there is this scene where you say something, what is it that you say?
I mean, I don't remember like exactly what I was saying. I just remember the feeling of being like sad and embarrassed, and
Yeah.
it was very harsh and just really critical and really like destroying with her words, and I just felt so small, and I don't even remember any of the words. It's just a feeling being so also helpless, to do anything about this.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if you remember the words or not. What matters is that you remember the feeling, and that's the most important. So you felt sad, embarrassed, you felt small, helpless, because she was very harsh and had very destructive, destroying words towards you. And I want you now to really tap into these feelings of sadness, of embarrassment, feeling small and helpless. And repeat after me, I feel small, embarrassed, and helpless because
I feel small, embarrassed, and helpless because my teacher is being so mean to me, and I don't even understand why.
Yeah. So you don't understand even why? And that he's mean, so mean to me with obviously no reason must mean that.
It must mean that like something's wrong with me, or I'm just not like good enough, or just, I don't know, just something with me.
Yeah, that something must be wrong with you, because otherwise, why would she be so cruel? And you didn't do anything wrong. It must mean that something's wrong with you, right?
Yeah.
So that's a belief.
Yeah. And also,
yeah, go ahead.
And also that I must avoid to say something wrong or something that might be not just perfect. I'm just afraid then to say anything.
Yes, of course, because you're a boy, 8, 9 years old. Every child in that age would make the same conclusion. Well, it's not safe to speak up. It's not safe to be seen. It's not safe to do something, because this feeling of something's wrong with me is so painful that no matter what, from now on, I must avoid to speak up, to be seen. Right?
Yeah.
So right then you made a decision that hurt you. You made a decision to avoid to be visible, to avoid to speak up, to avoid to be in the center of attention, right? Because of this painful feeling. Yeah. And now, obviously, right now, you are an adult. You are not 8 or 9 years old. You are not at school anymore. I'm sure you don't even know this teacher anymore. But there is still this part in you. And now it makes so much sense why it came up, right? So why did it come up? Why did it come up at this scene?
Because there's still something in me that's afraid that something similar will happen.
Yeah, of course. So, and it came to protect you
Yeah.
from this horrible feeling you felt. Came in as a part to avoid that you get hurt and attacked again. Yeah, and that makes so much sense. And that's actually a really smart reaction. So now to keep this child safe from future pain. But now you are an adult. You are not a child. We said already, you are not at school. You don't know this teacher even anymore. What else is the difference between you now and this boy at school? Why is this not you?
I mean, now I also know that like something wrong was like there was something wrong with her, because like as a teacher you need to nourish children and not like make them feel small and like they're stupid. So now I can see she had a problem and there was something wrong with her, not with me. And I understand the situation obviously very clearly now, and so this could not happen to me again. Why? Because I understand also now that it's not just about what I do, but maybe people have issues with themselves and they need to criticize others because of that.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So you now realized, well, actually, there was nothing wrong with me, but with her.
Yeah.
I was not the problem, so to say, but she had her own problems and stuff, and that's what she was loading up on me. And you said also now this would not happen, because what if this teacher would be right now in front of you and attack you? What could you do now what you couldn't do then?
Yeah, I can stand up, I can tell her to get out, I can just argue and tell her my point of view. I can leave or I can tell her to leave. And I mean, I don't need to accept what she's saying. I can just return what she's telling me if I'm not agreeing with what she's addressing.
Of course, yeah. You have now so much more life experience, and you are not a child, you are an adult, and you could stand up for yourself. You could, protect yourself.
Yeah.
And defend yourself, which you couldn't. And no child at school can do this in the same extent like an adult can. That's why it was so smart to come up with this part. But now you're not 8 or 9 years old. You're an adult version. And you see now what's the difference. You see now that you don't need this part anymore. And I want you now again that you give this part a voice. And I want to ask this part, how old do you think is Max now?
Still a child, still a small, still not grown up. I don't know, maybe 10.
So he's maybe 10 years old.
Hmm.
And now, Max, I'm talking to you. If you don't mind sharing, you can also just say I'm not 10 years old. But how old are you?
I'm not 10 years old now. I'm 38 years.
You're 38 years old, definitely not 10 years old. But this part still thinks that you're 10 years old. Now, Max, you're 38 years old and not 10. Now we have to show and tell this part, well, there's a misunderstanding. You just still think that I'm a schoolboy. But I mean, what is it that you can show this part that you have now as an adult that a 10-year-old boy definitely doesn't have, can't do? What is it? What do you want to show him? I mean, what's the difference?
No, I mean, I now have a car. I can drive wherever I want to go. I have my own bank accounts where I can purchase whatever I want. I can eat what I want. I can meet the people I want to. I can just decide where I put my focus on, what I want to do and what I don't want to do. So I have the freedom to create my own life now, because I'm not dependent anymore on others to tell me what to do and what not to do. So I can live my free, independent life now. doing all of this.
Beautiful. And as you said also before, yes, I mean, you have a car, you can drive, you have a bank account, you have so many things a 10-year-old cannot have, clearly. And also, like, you can decide, it's your choice what you do. You have freedom. You don't go to school, you're independent, and you can choose who to talk to and who not. You can choose what you're doing. And like you said before also, you can protect yourself, right?
Yeah.
As you said with this teacher, maybe let's repeat it for this part again. What would you do now as this 30-year-old, what you couldn't do when you were 10 or 9 or 8? What would you do when the teacher would be in front of you and being mean and harsh?
Yeah, I would say it's completely unacceptable, and she needs to shut up because it's not appropriate to talk like this, to talk down to children or to me in a way.
And I'm sorry to interrupt you here for a moment, Max, but let's do this actually now, really properly. Imagine that this teacher would be now in front of you. You are like you're an adult version, 30 years old, and now you have a voice which you didn't have as a child at school. And now you can tell her everything that you want to tell her that needs to be said, that has to get out of you.
No. So you were such a frightening teacher when I didn't even ever like to go to school because of you been so negative, and you made me feel like I'm stupid, like I shouldn't even say anything. You made me feel like I'm not allowed to make any mistakes, and that felt just horrible because I couldn't even learn in that circumstances. I just felt so sad actually to sit there with you being so negative and just having a few people who you like, a few girls, and the others were just like not good enough. So you made me feel like I'm not good enough. And I've been carrying this belief for such a long time into my adult life, and I can see now that it's never been about me because I was just a normal, regular school boy. But you were so negative. You had so many problems with yourself, and you projected them onto this really, I don't know, children who didn't have anything to do with it, and onto me. And yeah, I resent you for that because it's been a lot of pain you put on me and also onto others. And I really don't want to have this anymore. I'm done with it now. And I want you to own up to it as well, because, you know, we were innocent children and I was an innocent child, but you were, you know, in a position, in a power position, and you misused it badly. And I really resent you for that.
Yeah. Anything else? What else do you want to say?
Yeah. I just don't want to hold on to this any longer. And I just can see now that it's never been about me, but that you had, like, I don't know, problems yourself, and that's okay. We all have our problems, but you don't put them onto like innocent children. So I just want to return this pain and the sadness and the feeling of not good enough, like, back to you, because it never belonged to me. And so I'm just returning all of this negativity back to you because that's where it belongs and not to me.
Yeah. Great. And now, Max, it's your choice. You don't have to, but you can. Do you want to give this teacher a voice or not?
Yeah, I think it's interesting.
So, you're the teacher now. What does she say?
She says, well, I didn't think that was such a bad thing to do, and I grew up in a similar way. We got taught to be harsh and to be critical, and I didn't think I was doing anything bad. And I had the girls who I liked, and so I focused on them, and I think for the rest it was just normal for me to do it in this way.
And now I have a question to you, teacher. What do you say to what Max just said to you? That you gave him this feeling, you installed the feeling of not being good enough, and he had to carry this heavy baggage the rest of his life because you gave him that feeling. What do you say to that?
So there are two sides. The one side says she's sorry because she didn't actually mean to hurt others. She wasn't really aware of it. So she is like, I'm sorry, but I didn't know better. No.
Okay. Yeah. And now you switch, you are Max again. What do you say?
Okay, you didn't know better, but you still should have done better, and I would have deserved better because this was a lot of pain and kept me so confined for such a long time. So, you know, I don't want to hold on to this anymore. So I think it's I want to set myself free. So I understand you couldn't do it better, but I would have needed it better from you. And I'm sorry for myself that I didn't get the teacher I would have deserved, and you clearly wasn't able to do that. But at the same time, I also want to let go of it now. So I can understand you didn't do it really on purpose, but I just want you to own up to it and accept what you did. And then for me, it's good, and I can just let go of it for good. No.
Now, if you like, you can switch again.
No. She's like, okay, like what you told me, I can see I wasn't fair. I really did prioritize like my favorite kids, and I did give you a feeling of being really harsh, really critical, and it wasn't I wasn't doing you a good favor with what I was doing. So I accept what you tell me, and I'm willing also, to take back this pain that you were carrying for such a long time, because it was never yours. I'm sorry I didn't do it better. I couldn't. Now you told me I can realize it, but I'm sorry it's not been any earlier. So I hope you can also forgive me.
Now switch back to be Max again.
Yeah, I can forgive you, and I forgive you, and I just say thank you also for acknowledging that what you did was painful, that you put on a lot of pain and just feeling of being not good enough onto me, but also onto many other children. And it's good. I'm grown up now, and you're probably not even alive anymore. So it's time to let this go. And I want to set myself free, and I say, thank you for accepting what you did. And I'm done.
Beautiful, beautiful. So then let her go, and let's focus back on this part. I want you now to give this part again a voice, and I talk now again to this part. Now you see that Max can defend himself, can even talk to the teacher and tell her, well, listen, that's not right. And he just solved it. He just took this pain out and gave it back to her, all this burden, she loaded up on him. He just gave back. And now I ask you, Mark, do you need this part in the way it is still? Does it help you?
No.
Or does it hold you back?
Yeah, it holds me back and it doesn't help me at all.
Do you want to give it a more productive job, or do you want it to leave?
That's a good question. So I think, I mean, I would like it to leave if it's ready to go.
Okay, then let's ask it.
Yeah.
I would say maybe you repeat and tell the part, thank you for protecting me all these years.
Thank you for protecting me all those years.
I really appreciate and understand why you came.
I really appreciate and understand now why you came.
But now I'm 38 years old.
But now I'm 38 years old.
I'm not a schoolboy anymore.
I'm not a schoolboy anymore.
And I don't need you anymore.
And I don't need you anymore.
You are now holding me back and not helping anymore.
You're now holding me back and not helping me anymore.
So please leave.
So please leave.
What does it say or do?
I think it's ready to leave.
It's ready to leave. Okay. How will you know? And how will you notice that it's leaving or left?
So I think it's feeling wise, I think it's a more lighter feeling in my stomach, and I will be less hesitant just in taking action. I will be more just doing things and not fearing what might happen. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. And now let's check in. Is the part gone?
It's hard for me to say right now. It's still, I think there's still something, it's not like gone.
Okay. Now, let's maybe focus on the area around your stomach where you would feel light when it wasn't gone, but you say it's not gone. Now ask the part, what does it take you that you go like completely?
What does it take you to go completely? I think it's like, it says like trust.
So it need. So what does that mean? Trust. What comes up?
Trust. I think it needs to fully realize that it's not necessary anymore, this part. I think it wants maybe like some time to just see if it's like for real, if it's really not needed anymore. It's a bit like hesitant now to fully let go.
And so it needs, so to say, reassurance that you, how I understand it, will be safe, that you really don't need it anymore.
No.
And how can you give it this reassurance? How can it trust that you don't need it anymore?
I think also that I stand up for myself and that I'm showing up as the adult version that I am. So it really, it wants to see me in my role as my grown-up version, adult, independent version. Now that it's realized that it was living in a in a 10 years body, so to say. Yeah, so my actions would speak for it.
But I mean, you just took already action. You just removed the burden. You stood up for yourself. You proved that you're an adult. You drive a car. You have an apartment. You have a bank account. You stood up many times in your life already for yourself. And just right now in front of this teacher. So you're doing this already.
That's true.
Now ask the part again. Can you leave now because I'm an adult and I'm standing up for myself?
Can you leave now because I'm an adult? I can stand up for myself. I don't need this protection any longer because with my ability as an independent adult, I can handle situations differently and I'm safe to express myself now, and I have so many resources now to deal with life and also any situation, so I don't really need you anymore. So can you leave right now?
What does it say?
Yeah, now it's feeling much lighter, and I think it wants to like a thank you again. So I want to say thank you for this part that you were protecting me for such a long time, and I appreciate you because it's not like I don't want to get rid of you, but I just need to be free now because otherwise I cannot live my life fully. And you can see that this pain was actually never mine to carry. So you are good to go now. And I really appreciate what you did for me. And yeah, I appreciate if you go now.
What does it say or do?
Yeah, I think it wants like a little moment to just feel and
Take your time and just focus on the feeling around your stomach and feel whatever you feel right now.
yeah, it definitely feels much lighter now.
Amazing, amazing. So you feel lighter around your stomach, and I want you now, Max, just by focusing, to make this feeling of lightness even stronger and stronger. And you can even visualize that this part now, taking all its stuff and moving out of your body. Because it understood now, you proved it. You're not 10, you're not 8 or 9. You're not at school. And you can stand up for yourself. You know what to do. And it's safe to be seen. It's safe to be successful. It's safe to go out. And not only that, but this is what you really want. This is your goal, because you know that you have so much to share, and you know with sharing that you can help so many other people to do the same, to go out and be seen and to remove their blockages and limitations. Now this part is moving out of your body, away, away. And maybe it stays around, maybe like a little guardian, but not as this heavy part anymore. And in your body, in your stomach, there is nothing but lightness, feeling of lightness, feeling of confidence, feeling of I'm enough. I'm enough, and I'm able to protect myself. I have so much to share, so much valuable experiences, wisdom, and knowledge, and that's what I will do. And knowing that this now, Max, from now on, is totally different than it was ever before. Because now you do what you wanted to do before, but now there's nothing holding you back anymore. You can't just take action. You can't just move forward. You focus. Because now you feel that lightness. Now you know you're capable. Now you know it's safe. You just take one action step after the other. Feel proud and light. And now, Max, whenever you're ready, you can come back to this room, take your time, and open your eyes whenever you feel like it. Welcome back. Yeah, I know, a journey.
Wow, yeah.
So,
Yeah. Wow. It was a journey. And
yeah.
yeah, this teacher, I knew about her impact, but I didn't even realize she still had any power, and it still was blocking me this situation that went so deep. And so it was really deep, and I really felt then the pain I felt back then. And I mean, obviously now I realize this can never happen to me again in a way that it happened to me as a child. So it's very liberating now to know and feel that this is like the past, and it doesn't have any power of me and over me anymore. So yeah.
Beautiful, yeah. Isn't it interesting? We know some memories, but we don't realize what we attach to it and how this memory is ruling our life actually, and the rules we made out of that, the meanings we made out of that, the beliefs, and how other people we don't even know anymore have so much head of and so much power.
Yeah.
But you did such a brilliant and amazing job to give her this package back and saying, okay, thank you. I've carried this long enough. Now take it back. I'm done.
Yeah. Because I really realized also my fear of making mistakes, or just trying to make everything like perfect. It was I think it was a lot to do also with being the fear of being judged and criticized from this teacher. So it's I mean, I know that obviously we need to make mistakes to progress, but still this feeling was so still in my body from what we just looked at. So now I also feel, I guess, more comfortable in being less perfect.
Yeah, amazing. And yeah, so you said you could feel this pain and this feeling of helplessness and this fear of making mistakes, of failure, fear of failure. When you tap in there right now, what do you feel now instead?
I mean, it's like nothing can happen to me. It's just calmness and confidence that, there's never such a destruction is not gonna happen. I think that's obviously what the fear was, the fear of the pain that might be caused. I think that's just now lifted. So I'm just calm, and I mean, it's obviously depending on the mistake, but it's not like a life sentence, so to say, that's so painful. So it's just then a learning, and it's normal because we obviously all make mistakes, and it's part of the process of achieving anything in life.
Learning. I love that. What a growth mindset. What if we could see every failure just as feedback
Yeah.
and not as this heavy mistake.
Mm.
So,
And that's
amazing.
really nice. And that's a light feeling, because it's just a part of, it's like when we walk, the path, and there are stepping like blocks, little blocks, and it's just we walk over them. But it's not like it's not gonna fall back and like trap us or something. It's just, we just walk over it, and then we actually get better, we get more trained, and it's actually just helping us to get more knowledge. And
I love what you said, because you said when we overcome these obstacles, we get better
yeah,
and we learn. Meaning, even if we think we don't want to have these challenges, but if we wouldn't have these challenges and there would be no roadblock, we wouldn't have all these positive side effects, what you just mentioned, getting better, learning, growing. So we actually can be grateful for every feedback. I don't use the word failure, and every challenge that comes up, because then we get better. Only then we can get better.
yeah,
And then we learn.
yeah, exactly. And I think that's the most important part anyhow. It's the process. I feel, enjoying the process, and then we learn during the process, and then ultimately when we continue to progress, we will have success. It's just if we stop, then it's hard. Obviously, if we stop walking, we will not get to the top of the mountain. So, whether we take the left part or the right part, we will learn, and maybe it takes a bit longer. We need to take the way back, but it's still, we did learn something, and next time even you could walk other people up there, because this way is not working, but this way works much better.
Wow, amazing. So, what I hear you say so brilliantly is no matter what, we just have to keep moving. Because if we don't stop, then we cannot do anything wrong. There is no wrong, there is no failure. It's just learning. And also, by doing that, you can uplift and inspire so many other people around you to do the same.
Yeah. Yeah. And that feels really good, because it's a free way to live. It's not like I need to do this, and oh my God, I'm afraid it might not work. But then it's like this open and expansiveness, I try it, I experience it, I anyhow get feedback no matter the result, and it will just elevate, my whole life in a way, in one way or another.
Amazing. Amazing. So now I know we are over time a little bit, but what is the biggest takeaway from today?
The biggest takeaway is that the fear was stopping me from making the next steps, because I was afraid it might be a failure, or I get criticized, or just the fear was stronger than my willpower. So the emotion definitely overruled my ambition. And now, with the lifting of this heaviness of the fear, my takeaway is I'm free to move forward, and anything is feedback in the end anyhow, and that the progress is what matters. Like what we started basically from the last time, it's more important to keep going than to have the exact right path, because that's the learning curve, so to say. And just focusing on moving ahead is the most important part. And now, with the feeling of being confident and free of this fear, it's obviously going to be much more easy now to do this.
Perfect. And what's the next step which you can now do with this new liberated feeling, knowing that there is no failure?
Yes, I think now there would be a strategy for me on how to market, like the how to do it actually, so I can then take the steps towards launching the program and attracting the clients, which then also will implement probably some strategy for social media on like what posts I want to do. So creating the strategy now, like I did for creating the website and the program, now it's creating the traffic for the launch and getting the clients. Yeah.
Beautiful. Amazing. So I can't wait to see more successes from you, and I've already seen a lot of beautiful posts, so can't wait to see more and what you tell me next time. Thank you for being here with me, so open and trusting me, and yeah, have a beautiful, successful week and see you next time.
Thank you so much, Monica. This has been really amazing and I'm excited too.
Yeah, me too.